the bottomless, gaping pit of insecurity you call a soul.
Yeah. Weird.
Eventually, probably soon, the world will recognize you for the pitiful disappointment you are. You are not worthy of my respect. You are not a god. You are simply bad product.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Benny. In the world of politics, it's called flip-flopping, when you get either paid off or you get enough lobbying pressure to make you change your opinion on a subject. But it also happens in the entertainment world because, well, corrupt, sick industries are all the same. See if you can spot the weird differences between Rachel Zegler, the Snow Woke Snow White, in her change of tone. It does, in fact, seem a little bit different from the interviews she's been giving over the summer, and we think we know why. Watch.
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
Oh God, this is an iconic thing that people really care about. Yeah. I don't want to mess this up for anybody.
Yeah. The cartoon was made 85 years ago, and therefore it's extremely dated when it comes to the ideas of women being in roles of power.
They're able to tug on those heartstrings so well. They're very good at what they do, which is why they've been around for 100 years. But
there's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
It goes back down to the root of why these movies were so successful when they came out, is because they captured the human emotion so well, and the things that make us joyful and also the things that make us cry.
Yeah.
Weird. It does, in fact, seem as though somebody got to Rachel Zegler. Somebody said, you are destroying your career. You're destroying the movie that you are going to be in. You are not going to be allowed to rip another $1 billion away from our studio. This is precisely what Bob Iger must have told her, and Bob Iger told the entire world that wokeness will no longer be allowed at Disney because we will no longer push the message and agenda over actual quality content, and saying that the prince is creepy or that the original Snow White is outdated, and evidently so.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so.
is going to destroy your movie. Bob Iger recently saying, yeah, we're not going to allow that to happen.
Do you fight with DeSantis? Do you create LGBT characters?
So complicated. Well, let me start with content and your comment about woke characters. Our primary objective in creating content as a company, say for ABC News, which is obviously to inform, but is to entertain. Whether it's sports, whether it's Disney, whether it's Marvel, make things that entertain people. And the good news is there's a marketplace out there that demands entertainment. It's a fantastic business to be in because of that. I think what had happened over a period of time, it was building and building, and maybe I think it reached a peak of some sort while I was gone, is that creators lost sight of what their number one objective needed to be. Often when we entertain, and we've entertained as a company over the 100 years we've been in business, we have entertained with values and having a positive impact on the world in many different ways. I'd use Black Panther as a great example of that, just in terms of fostering acceptance, or the movie Coco, which Pixar did about the Day of the Dead. I like being able to do that. Entertain, and if you can infuse it with positive messages and have a good impact on the world, fantastic. But that should not be the objective. When I came back, what I have really tried to do is to return to our roots, which is, remember, we have to entertain first. It's not about messages. If you can do, again, if your story can have a positive impact, so there's that. And I've worked hard since I've been back at reminding the creative community, who are our partners, in some cases our employees, that that's the objective. And I don't really want to tolerate the opposite.
This is what stares Bob Iger in the face every single day. And this is what Bob Iger goes, oh no, not the stock price again, every single day. Bob Iger falling down this stock price right there, right around here. There it is. The collapse is at hand. In fact, if you had invested $100 in Disney 5 years ago, then it would be worth $75 today. That's not the way the stock market is supposed to work. That's not what a healthy company looks like. Bob Iger is trying to stave off a investor lawsuit for the destruction of the fiduciary obligation that Disney has to its investors. That's what's actually happening here. This is the crisis of Disney, and this is why Bob Iger is finally putting his foot down and saying no more of this woke shit. Bob Iger is saying that, but it's not stopping places like entire states from pulling out of their investment portfolios in Disney. South Carolina Treasurer Curtis Loftus removes Disney from the state's investment portfolio. This from last week, saying that Disney will no longer be allowed to be invested in via South Carolina. They have $105 million of Disney debt instruments. Holy smokes. It's scheduled to mature and it will not be replaced. So entire states that invest billions of dollars into these companies are saying no more. No more Disney. This is, of course, following Disney losing $1 billion across 13 woke movies. Disney on track to have 4 of the 5 biggest flops ever in box office history, and Disney in their own SEC filing saying, we suck at this. We actually suck at creating entertaining content for families. Instead, all we want to do is push radical gender and racial ideologies that divide people. Let's read. We face risks relating to misalignment with public consumer tastes in preference in entertainment, travel, and consumer products with impact demand for our entertainment offerings and products and profitability of any of our businesses. Generally, our revenues and profitability are adversely impacted when our entertainment offerings and products, as well as our methods to make our offerings and products available to consumers, do not achieve sufficient consumer acceptance. What does that mean? Well, that means that you are sexualizing children. Bob Iger says we're not sexualizing children. Well, when you're explaining, Bob, you're losing. But in fact, you are. You see, the thing is, you are sexualizing children, Disney. Disney executive producer admits to gay agenda, adding queerness wherever she could. Has she been fired? Has anybody been held into account for this? LaToya Ravino, the executive producer for Disney Television Animation, talked about how the studio's treatment of her progressive ideas defied her negative expectation of the company, saying she was able to insert queerness wherever she wanted. I could just, wherever I could, add queerness. No one would stop me. No one was trying to stop me. Here's her on tape literally saying this. Great job, Disney. Perhaps this is why nobody is going and seeing Disney movies anymore. Did you know that Disney released a feature-length animated film this month? Nope, you didn't? Yeah. Nobody else did either. Disney's bleak box office streak. Wish is the latest crack in the studio's once invincible armor. They've also lost hundreds of thousands of subscribers on their fledgling streaming platform, and that's before Disney decided to stop advertising on X while thanking concentration camp running dictatorships in China. Elon Musk is just a little too dangerous for them to do business with, and many, many X users saying they have canceled their Disney Plus subscriptions. These are just a small sampling of those people canceling those subscriptions. Okay, your subscription has been canceled. X is the most important social media site in the human race, says Keemstar. It's the only site that gets unfiltered news from around the world. To get uncensored views, it is way too important. I am boycotting Disney. I am boycotting Disney. Ladies and gentlemen, even Theo Von is on our side when Elon Musk tells Bob Iger to go F himself. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, in one of the greatest moments ever broadcast in history.
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go F yourself. But go F yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is.
And, well, here's what Bob Iger says about that. I plan on stepping down. Bob Iger asked in his interview when he's going to step down as CEO. Bob Iger says in 2026. Will he actually leave? Well, he is in his 70s. So, yes, hopefully, and maybe not run for president. Joe Biden's in his 80s. My God, there might even be time. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Iger is putting his foot down, saying no more wokeness for the people who are going to be in our movies. And it's pretty hilarious to see how quickly the actresses change their tone. It's pretty amazing to see how quickly they go from being some type of hat wearing intersectional feminist marching through the streets to oh, I would love to have nothing more than Walt Disney back making the original 1937 Snow White. Isn't it wonderful for me to be sweeping the dwarf's house and cleaning the dishes? It's so wonderful. You'd think World War III was around the corner. Amazing stuff here, ladies and gentlemen. Not gonna compliment Bob Iger. He's a piece of garbage, but it sure is funny to see this all come crashing down. Let's keep it going. Stay based. Like, share, and subscribe. It's your boy Benny. See ya.